Hey guys, welcome back to Reality Check, Please. I'm your host, Cassie, and happy Thursday. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's Friday Junior, so hang in there in the work week a little longer. Today, we're here to talk about the Teen Vogue interview article that had Chelley and Olandria on to talk about the stereotypes of them being mean girls in the villa because of their skin color. Manny already read it. He says it's pretty lengthy, so we're going to get right into it. So if you haven't already, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Before we jump in, I do want to say this is going to be a little longer of a podcast because I'm going to read the whole article. Manny already read it. He says it's pretty lengthy. However, if you don't want to read the article, put your phone down right now, put me in your ear, and let me read it for you. Okay? So let's jump right in. So I saw earlier, about an hour ago, that Olandria had posted some stories on her Instagram about her interview and photo shoot with Teen Vogue. She says, such a good read. Please check it out if you haven't already. The title says, Love Island USA's Olandria and Chelley never wanted to be the mean girls, but as dark-skinned Black women on reality television, they knew it would happen. So we're going to jump right in. This is their collab post with Olandria and Chelley. The caption says, when Love Island USA came calling, Olandria and Chelley both hesitated. There's a weight that comes with opening yourself up to the world on a dating show. It gets heavier when you're a dark-skinned Black woman trying to fall in love while the world dissects your every move. But whether it was a history-making momentum, season 6, or divine timing, the pair came to Fiji unknowingly, stepping into a journey that would bring them closer together. We're soul sisters for a reason, Olandria tells Teen Vogue. We've always said to one another, God knew we needed each other. I'm so happy that the past seasons did not work out for us because season 7 was the year to be here at the same time. The pair opened up to Ayanaish. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that name. About the weight that comes with opening yourself up to the world on a dating show, especially as a dark-skinned Black woman whose every move is dissected by the public. Link in bio. These are their pictures. They really do look like sisters. In the very first episode, I was telling Manny when they walked in, I was like, I can't tell them apart. Like, they look like twins. They look like real sisters. So let's jump in to the actual article. Love Island USA's Olandria and Chelley talk mean girl allegations and makeup mishaps. We already read this part on the caption right here. Season 7 arrived under enormous pressure after Season 6 became the most watched show in streaming history. Fans wondered if lightning could strike twice. Season 7 did surpass records, but not without constant comparison. For Chelley and Olandria, that meant immediate parallels to Season 6, Janae and Serena, something they weren't interested in entertaining. Before going on the show, I told myself to just be myself, Chelley says. They could either like you or not, but I would never want to feel like I'm putting up a facade. I also said, don't feel like you're not deserving of this opportunity because there are so many people in the world that could have been there, but out of all those people, you were there, and that's for a reason. Viewers tune into Love Island to analyze relationships and vote, giving America almost a role of an ancillary cast member. The hyper-surveillance weighed heavy on Chelley and Olandria, who somewhere along the way were cast online as mean girls by a certain fan base, might I add. It was so confusing and so weird because we knew who we were in the villa, Chelley says. We know how much we showed up for every single person on that island, how well everyone spoke of us. So for us to come out of the villa and see that we're the mean girls, we're like, mean girls where? The perception was fueled when fellow islanders who exited early leaned into America's idea of them. To see our fellow islanders playing into that narrative was hard, Olandria said. It's like, you know us. Why would you get out and let America, let social media get to your head? A lot of them played into that mean girl bully narrative, and I'm like, okay, this is not fair. Both were criticized for speaking openly with castmate Huda about her behavior, feedback that wasn't applied equally across the villa. How dare you guys say something like that to us, but not to everyone who is having that mean girl energy or mean girl moment. It goes back to the whole, you have to act a certain type of way as a Black woman, because the moment you act out of character, you're done, Chelley says. We didn't call anyone names. We didn't sit here and run up and down the villa yelling and screaming. We just spoke our truth and held accountable for their actions. And yes, so the fact that they are being labeled as mean girls, but we have Huda's fans coming in and defending this woman who quite literally like held the villa hostage with her emotional like train wreckery. I don't think it's fair. So I agree with Chelley in this point. Reality TV has long villainized Black women. Instead of an escape, Chelley and Olandria were met with the same stereotypes constantly placed on dark-skinned women. If that makes someone a mean girl, Chelley scoffs, Olandria jumps in, then I'll take it. During the season, both often felt like therapists and mothers to islanders, offering advice and emotional support. Olandria took on that role, reflecting her real-life position as the oldest of 6 siblings. I knew going into the show, especially as a Black woman, I was representing more than just myself, she says. The world always tries to label us as angry Black women. They use as a moment of weakness and make that one specific time our whole character. I knew that when it came to my emotions, I had to dial that back, which I did for the majority of the season. But when she finally broke down after Taylor, her main partner, recoupled with Clark, the judgment came swiftly. The moment that I did break, I kind of blew up. People were like, I knew it. That's the real her. I want to be unapologetically me, but it's like this world doesn't allow Black women to do that. And I feel so bad for like the Black women community, the Black community that can't be vulnerable and can't be themselves because then they get labeled this. It's not fair. But I understand where she's coming from and why she says this. Chelley says she tried to block out those pressures. I still know myself. I know my truth. So I can't take how you guys feel about me with so much weight. You sit there and try to paint me to be whoever you want me to be in your mind because of 5 minutes of one episode. I think that says more about the person than even myself. She adds, this world could be crazy sometimes. And this is what it comes with when putting yourself in these types of spaces and places, which ultimately I'm just so grateful and so thankful because, again, the woman that Olandria is, the woman that I am, we represent so many Black women and even women in general. And I think they see that in us. And as a white, like Hispanic, I very much do see who they truly are. The fact that they have not come out here and like misspoke or try to create drama on these podcasts like other islanders have speaks more of who they are as women. And for that, like you have to recognize that. The criticism extended beyond their character to their appearance. Both chose knotless braids for the show, a protective style. They maintained themselves for the exact reason. On our days off, Chelley and I would go on the floor crocheting my hair, looping my braids through to freshen them up, Olandria says. We didn't have anyone there to braid our hair, Chelley adds. I think one of the biggest things for us is when we both walked out, got into the villa, and looked at each other and were like, oh, we both got braids. While Olandria went to a Houston braider early May to get her hair done, Chelley actually arrived in Fiji with hers blown out. As soon as she landed, she says her hair turned into a big puff. She had traveled with braiding hair in her suitcase just in case a fiasco happened. She was then in her hotel room from 10 p.m. to 5 p.m. the next day, no sleep, she adds, doing boho braids on herself. I remember sitting down with the producers when I first landed and I was like, by the way, I'm changing my hair. She says, it was in a bun when I was talking to them. They were like, what do you mean? I'm like, I can't leave it like this. I'm going to have to braid it. So I'm just letting you guys know I'm going to have a different hairstyle. They're like, okay, is this still going to go with your looks? And I'm like, yeah, of course. During season 6, online comments loved that Serena wore braids, but criticized Janae Craig's choice to wear a lace front wig. This year, people talked about how messy Olandria and Chelley's braid had become, and if they'd have access to fix them mid-show. They also had to keep the same pedicure they came in with. Their online judgment was a prime example of how those goalposts constantly change for Black women in public eye. It was just sad to see the comments saying they need their hair done. You see how many challenges I'm doing, Chelley says. Since when have you known someone to go in a water 20 times in the summer, get slime and this and that in their hair, and it comes out looking fresh? The scrutiny extended to makeup too. Oh my God, I did not see any of their makeup or hair comments. What the heck? People, they called me Miss Concealer, Miss Bright, and I'm like, well, you can't call me ugly, Olandria says. They always try to find a way to tear us down. Truly, I feel like they just hate seeing confident women, specifically confident Black women, because for years and decades, we always had to live in other people's shadows. I truly feel like Black women are the most disrespected people on earth. Tear. I wouldn't trade being one for nothing. Her bright under eye became a constant talking point online, though she says the cameras made it more saturated. I would ask Chelley every day. I was like, is my under eye bright? Let me know because I'm going to put more, Olandria says. Chelley often reassured her, laughs, damn. Was I lying? They continue to banter back and forth about their time in the villa, Olandria adding, we don't have much time to process emotions on the island, so I was trying to process them through my clothes and makeup. Like, we're going to be happy today. And I'd come into the room like, girl, you're fixing to do it to them today. The whole time they were on the internet tearing me a new one. The two leaned on each other for support, finding comfort in small routines. Their favorite memories were upstairs braiding hair together, blue magic grease in one hand and a crochet needle in the other, while the other castmates socialized downstairs. That was just a moment like, yo, you're my girl. You know you're stuck with me, right? You're not going anywhere, Chelley adds. That's beautiful. I wish we would have gotten to see a little bit of that. And honestly, braiding hair, I get frustrated braiding like 2 French braids like on my head. That is an art. So my props to you, fellow ladies who do that, and men. The negativity at times went as far as threats, a harsh reminder of the climate Black women navigate. Still, they refuse to let it break them. I think a big part of it is we are very confident in ourselves, Chelley says. It's a thing of wanting to bring us down so badly, but why? If you see us feeling ourselves and happy about who we are, why can't that make you want to be happy as well? Because it makes them uncomfortable, Olandria follows. I truly feel like as a little girl, I always struggled with my skin complexion and my hair type. I have 4C hair, I have dark skin, and I have brown eyes. So I always felt like I looked the opposite of what beauty looked like in the Black community. My heart. Light skin, curly hair, bright eyes. If only I could go back and hug little Olandria and say, baby, We're gonna be all right. You're beautiful. I'm like getting emotional reading that. Despite the noise, love outweighed the hate. Together, they left the villa with more than 2 million followers across their social media platform and a loyal fan base. Both are excited for their future. I think the biggest goal right now is longevity, Chelley says. It's not one thing that I want to do, from modeling, working with brands, or hosting. There are so many different things. As for my relationship, your girl is happily in love. She continues, I'm not fully in a relationship yet. I'm like, look, Ace, you told me you wanted to be exclusive. I said yes, but until you ask me, will you be my girlfriend? I'm not your girlfriend, okay? And if anyone knows anything about Ace, he's going to do it with the most romantic, grandest gesture ever. So I'm excited for that because he knows I'm extra too. I love that. Similarly, Olandria has her eyes set on multiple paths. I don't want to just put myself in a box when it comes to certain things. Like, yes, I want to model. I want to go into beauty, podcasting. I want to do everything to see what sticks. Whether it be outsiders going for the jugular, attacking their physical features, or fans pitting them against each other, claiming that they weren't truly friends, one thing is clear: Chelley and Olandria have each other's back. From their adoring eyes looking out as the other speaks, or their continued hand holding on this press run, there's an unsaid connection and sisterhood that comes with being Black women on reality television. Amidst their continued laughs and clock it hand gestures during an interview, Olandria says with a full face smile, my girl, we are in it for the long haul. That was a lengthy interview, and I'm sorry, but it needed to be read. And I think that, you know, this being such a huge topic for them and very important to it, I couldn't just recap it. I needed to like read it fully for you guys. And if you guys didn't want to read it, you just put your phone down and listen to while I read it for you. Let me know your thoughts. I think that they touched on a lot of very, very important things. Well, my son is half Black, Manny's Dominican and Black. And so it made me emotional because it makes me think, as also a Hispanic white woman, these are things that you have to see. And until it becomes a part of your home and your family, you probably won't see it the same. And I probably will never see it the same as they do until I have a daughter or my son grows up. But even then, like, it's different because they're the ones living through it in their own bodies. So my heart goes out to you guys. Truly, truly. I love that Teen Vogue gave them this opportunity. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. I hope it wasn't too long for you guys, and I hope you stuck around till the end. Pop off in the comment section and we'll catch you later for another reality check. Bye guys. Happy Thursday.